KDJ's weekly picks on game day 1 are brought to you by Veolia and White Plains Hospital.
Week 2 of local football is here, and yeah, it's time for our picks videos, and I'm well aware. Last week's picks were not very good. I liked my preseason pick of Class AA Mamaroneck to win. I liked Pleasantville to win at home over Bronxville. I thought Byram Hills was going to go on the road and win at Pelham. Well, I was wrong, but I feel like I have a good grip this week on what is a really good schedule of games. Let's start on Saturday afternoon with the biggest game of the year, and that is Stepinac hosting rival Iona Prep. I know, you look at the records, and it ain't pretty. Right now, Stepinac is struggling 0-3 against 3 national powerhouse programs, and they're facing an Iona Prep team that's 1-2, with 2 of their losses being the national programs. This is where the season for both these teams, in a lot of ways, it sort of starts on Saturday afternoon because it's the Catholic League. It is the New York Catholic League. It is who's going to be in the mix to compete with Cardinal Hayes for a championship. It's going to be one of these 2 teams. I think when you look at this matchup, you look at Iona Prep, the injuries are mounting. You got to feel terrible for Stephen Dowdy Jr., just a terrific all-around player, gets injured in that game against Bergen Catholic. He will not return this season. But the Gales have talent behind him, and they seem poised to go on the road to Stepinac on Saturday and win. They're facing a Stepinac team that just can't get things going offensively. The defense has struggled at times, and they're going to face an Iona Prep team that's going to spread it out, and I think they're going to run the football pretty well against them. I think Crew Davis is a big game. I think Iona Prep goes out there and they win this game 31-20 on the road at Stepinac, and they get their first win of the season in Catholic League play. Our next matchup on Friday night, it could be another championship preview, and that is Carmel taking on Suffern in a Class AA showdown. Carmel, in their season opener last week, they look really good. Tristan Werlau, we expected, as we always say, we expect him to go out there and put up close to 200 yards rushing on limited carries. But really, Brian McGrory was the guy who broke out in this game. Threw the ball well, ran the ball well, did a lot of little things in that quarterback spot. We saw him get some time last year in the state championship game. He's got a good line in front of him. King Mercer, that group, they were so good in that win in opening night over John Jay's Fishkill. Jeff Joseph's back, though, for Suffern, and he's playing, and he's a difference maker for them, obviously, on both sides of the football. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think Carmel goes out in this matchup, and they win a close, high-scoring game. I see Carmel winning 35-31. Another big game in Class AA, it is North Rockland taking on Mamaroneck. Again, I talked about Mamaroneck being my preseason team in Class AA. I do think North Rockland also in the hunt here as well, and they also rebounded from their Week 0 loss to Monroe Woodbury by beating Arlington pretty handily, 31-6. Wanted to give a shout out to the North Rockland offensive line. Those guys winning our first Game Day Guardian of the Week award presented by Prolific Sports Lab. I think they're in line to maybe win again this week because I think this offensive line showed so much in the game over Arlington last week. Really created a lot of space, protected the quarterback well. I see North Rockland winning this game. Another close game, 27-20. They met last year. There's a little bit of a bad taste in the mouth for both sides. I think North Rockland goes on and wins this game. Rivalry matchup, Somers going to Mahopac. You know, as much as Somers, win 2-time state champions, 3-time section champions, they've always had a little bit of a hurdle, an obstacle with Mahopac, as you would expect. 2 brothers coaching the teams, the DiMattios facing off in this game, know each other very well. Somers, they came this close to losing to Yorktown last week at home on Friday night. I think they go on the road this week, and Miguel Iglesias continues his ascension to be one of the top quarterbacks in the area. I think Somers wins. They go win this game 31-24. I think Mahopac makes some late push, but I do think Somers on both sides of the football just too good. Another good matchup. This one in Class B. Now you have Bronxville going from Class C to Class B as the reigning champions in Class C. You have Pelham coming down from Class A to Class B. This matchup is interesting. Opening night, Bronxville made a statement. They go on the road to Pleasantville, and they overwhelm them on both sides of the football. Davis Patterson ran the ball well. Brian Fermato ran exceptionally well. This offensive line really established itself. Can Pelham line up and handle this front for the Broncos? I think Bronxville handles this game. They win it 28-20 at home. Again, another late push for Pelham. It's not going to be enough to beat this Bronxville team. Our final game, rivalries, man. Yonkers Force versus Yonkers Brave. We reach Week 2. The Brave are 2-0. The Force are 1-0. They went on the road last week and beat R.C. Ketchum in Dutchess County. I like what I saw at Yonkers Force. I watched a lot of this game on Local Live, and I think that Nas Fields and this team, they're ready. They're going to go out there and hand the Brave their first loss. I see the Force winning in what should be a fun environment, 20-14. Those are my Week 2 picks. Fingers crossed, guys. We'll see you next week.